Now, recently there was a vote in the news that the Roman Catholic Church voted and they rejected ending mandatory celibacy. What do you think needs to happen to change the tide of opinion within the institution of the Church itself?
Allow Roman Catholic priests who have married to be reconciled with the Church and restored to active ministry. That will make optional celibacy a non-issue. The reality is this, Bret. The Roman Catholic Church coils, shows its fangs, shows, its nails when anyone mentions changing a centuries-old policy on celibacy.
Okay.
It all depends on your approach. Married priests now is not saying end celibacy. Married priests now is not saying provide for optional celibacy. What married priests now is stating very clearly and specifically is one thing. Reconcile married priests to the Church.
They've already given up celibacy.
They've already given it up.
That decision for them has already been made. Just let them come back into the fold in their leadership positions.
And allow them to enrich the Church by their unique gifts of marriage. Allow them to bring back their years of study, of preparation, of education experience back into the ministry, and allow the laity to have a priest in their churches, in their parishes, that can enrich their spirituality.
Very clear. Some people have likened Archbishop Malingo's cause and your cause to that of the Reformation leader Martin Luther. How do you see the challenge facing both of you at this time? How do you see the challenge of making this a successful mission?
The challenge is to stay focused on the mission from God and not in any way to allow person to stand in the way of what God has called us to do. We, both Archbishop Malingo and I, must realize that our lives do not belong to us. They belong to God and to God's people. And that our calling in life is not to have an epitaph that says, we did things our way. I did it my way. No, it is to say we did it God's way, even at the cost of risking or losing our lives. And as long as we stay focused on God's call and that this is God's mission for the betterment of his people, even though it may cause pain and hurt and misunderstanding on the part of the Roman Catholic Church or others, that in the end, if God's will prevails, the Church will come to understand that we took a very prophetic position in a time of great uncertainty and non-support.
Very clear. What are your plans for building momentum and getting this historic cause rolling? What plans do you have for the future?
Archbishop Emmanuel Malingo will conduct a preaching tour around the United States of America over the next 6 months, up until December of 2006. And then he will return to his motherland of Zambia to launch a new ministry there, similar to what we're doing here in America, appealing to married priests in the Roman Catholic Church to come back and be reconciled and reinstated in the Catholic Church. And the Archbishop's work will be focused on his unique call from God, his charism of preaching the gospel, healing the sick, and casting out devils. So he will be conducting services of healing and deliverance across America, and at the same time appealing to these married priests to come forward and recommit themselves to the Church.
So you'll be contacting them, obviously, and being in touch with those associations of married priests that share that common cause.
Definitely. That will be the defining moment for the Married Priest Now movement, that we will be able to have a cadre or corps of married priests who once served in the Roman Catholic Church, who are ready, willing, and available to come to the assistance of the Church to meet the profound spiritual needs of Catholics in the United States of America.
If you could send a message to the Vatican about what you're doing, what would it be?
The message would be one of trust, one of support, and one of a waiting attitude. Let's trust God, that
Let's
God
have
moves
some-
in mysterious
have
ways.
some patience.
Have some patience. Let's wait and see if there will arise a cry, a massive cry from the grassroots that says married priests now will be good for the church, and confidence that God doesn't always work through ways that men and women have arranged, that sometimes God will work in extraordinary ways, in extraordinary circumstances, to bring about a healing for his church.